Hi, good morning. So I'm gonna start a new series of a no edit, just a Q&A session, and this will be fun. So I was just thinking about how, basically my channel is a love letter to my children eventually. I like to think of it as my way of helping someone or putting stuff out there that is valuable, helpful, useful, and ultimately uplifting people. So, yeah, I thought this would be fun to ask my daughter what questions she had for me. And I'm going to, as I have my coffee weekly, I just like read a question, answer it, and see how it goes. So, this is week 1. And her question is, were there any, were there ever really mean people in high school, college, middle school, or elementary? And of course, so yeah, in elementary school, my name is Stephanie No. So I got teased a lot, right? The joke is like, step on me, no. And so, I just kind of got used to it. You become immune to it because you hear it so often, right? And let's see, middle school, yeah. I once had a girl want to fight me, and then I got called into the vice principal's office. And I remember being so scared because I was like, oh, I don't know how to fight. Like, what happens if, like, she hits me? Like, I'm going to have to hit her back and then I'm going to get in trouble. But luckily, there was no fight. And let's see, high school? Oh, definitely. So, high school was probably one of my worst. There was just this one girl she kind of fixated on a different person in every few months. Mine seemed to last a little longer. But yeah, we were in a lot of classes together, and she would just make comments like, just very not nice comments, like someone should just die. And now that I think about it, it's actually very mean. And if this happened in school nowadays, that would not fly. Like, if that happened to my kids, there would definitely be some phone calls made, and parents have to be involved. But back when I was in high school, I think in my head I really wanted to try to handle the situation on my own, and I didn't really want to tell anybody. But looking back, I really wish I did ask for help, because I wish I didn't try to shoulder all of that pain by myself, and it really distracted me. My grades took a dive. Like, I was from I was always a high achieving in honors classes and student government, super involved, and tennis. And then when this happened, where she was just fixated on kind of bullying me and making my life difficult, yeah, it just took a nosedive, and I almost like failed 2 of my classes. I think I almost failed, was it calculus and physics? I'm not even sure. But so for any of you who were in that situation or are in it, just know that it does get better, and it has nothing to do with you. And I think that's probably what saved me, was that I knew that I just kind of had this feeling like maybe something else was going on with her. Like, and I think this is always what I say to my kids too, like, hurt people hurt people. Like, it's just kind of like human nature. Like, when you're mad and you're upset, you kind of like take it out on someone. I see it with my kids when they fight, right? I'm not making an excuse for any of the bullying or meanness or what. But I think something that makes me, like, puts it in perspective for me was just that I don't think this has anything to do with me. And I just kind of felt like she just fixated on me in this moment, and like the time will pass. But it wasn't because I deserved this behavior, or because I was a bad person, or because I'm a mean person, or because whatever it is, right? So if you are in a situation similar to that, just know that it's not you, and it's definitely them. And, you know, just maybe ask for support where you can, whether it's your parents or teachers or friends, because it definitely is even worse trying to go through something difficult by yourself. So looking back, I wish I had leaned on my support system a little bit more and maybe vocalized what I was feeling and actually saying something out loud, because I think maybe most people just thought like I'm handling it well, or it's like not a big deal. But you know, there were tears. Like I would go home and cry, and it really affected a big chunk of that year. And I will say that affected kind of like a portion of my college choices too, because I was doing so bad in those classes that it brought my GPA down, that I no longer felt confident enough to apply to like my dream schools. And so, yeah, looking back, I wish I had asked for more help and asked for support, and really try to ignore it a little bit more. But it is difficult when it's in your face all the time. And then lastly, she said college. And sadly, I will say that as with everything in life, there are going to be difficult moments. There's going to be difficult people. There's going to be mean people. There's going to be a bully. There's going to be, you know, it just changes over time. It never stops. It's just like a new situation, a new circumstance, right? So I think in college I think I was trying to pledge into this like fraternity or something, this business thing. And I was a transfer student, so I really wanted to try to build friendships and make a new group of friends. And, you know, I was new. I didn't know anybody. But it seemed like I connected with a lot of people, but then just one person didn't like me and just kind of sent the notice, you know, almost like Mean Girl style, like, oh, we don't like her. And so then all of a sudden, like, the rest of them just never talked to me ever again and pretended like they didn't know me at all. So I think I was kind of really disappointed in that, because, yeah, you know, I think I was just trying to make friends, and I took it very personally, that one. But now, clearly, I realize that, you know, if people treat you like that or whatever, I mean, it's probably best that you're not friends. Like, that's like a bullet that I dodged, right? Like, meaning if people are going to be not nice or like talk about you behind your back, or they're going to talk to you to your face sometimes and then not the other times, like those are probably people you don't really need or want in your life, right? So I kind of see it as like a blessing in disguise. Like, yeah, it might have hurt in that moment, but when you think about it long term, like that's actually for the best. So yeah, if anybody is going through a hard time where you are with, I mean, as my daughter put it, mean people, you know, just know that it'll pass and it has nothing to do with you. You do not deserve that treatment. And mostly it's everything to do with that person, whether they're feeling insecure about something, or they don't feel good about themselves, or maybe they have another mean person in their life that does it to them, and so they just want to take it out on someone else. there's always going to be situations like that. And so I think, sorry, I'm just like thinking about my own kids going through these experiences later in life, and it sucks. Like, it sucks to even think about the pain that they will endure at some point. But you know what? That's what makes you resilient, right? It's like that's what helps you pick yourself off the ground, and then that's what helps you really, truly, like, have your own back, right? Because if you love yourself, value yourself, and really just know your self-worth, then it'll make it easier to deal with like the mean people or the haters or the bullies or whatever, because I don't know, it's easier to just shrug off. I think the better you know yourself, the better you love yourself and understand your value, self-worth, then all of that is just noise. And so you can choose to listen to it, or you could choose to just like put imaginary earmuffs on and kind of block it out and just continue with what you're doing, right? So, oops, I'm stuck. Well, that was fun. We'll see what the next question is next week. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. I didn't even drink my coffee, but